part of the journey is the end. What's going on, guys? I'm Chris, and welcome back to another video. So today is a very special video, as Netflix gave me access to Ozark Season 4 Part 2, so I have fully seen it, and I'm going to be giving you guys my non-spoiler review of the final 7 episodes of Ozark, one of Netflix's best shows in my opinion. Now, disclaimer up front, there will be no spoilers, and I'm going to be dancing around them, so if it seems like I'm being a little vague, it's because I am trying intentionally to avoid spoilers and give you guys the fullest experience with the final episodes of the show. I already have a spoiler video filmed so that I could actually get my thoughts off my chest. That will be coming out once the show actually drops on Netflix. And before I get into my thoughts, make sure to hit the like button, comment down below your expectations or thoughts on the final episodes of Ozark if you've seen them already, and make sure to subscribe to that notification bell so you don't miss out on any future reviews. So coming off the heels of Season 4 Part 1, which ended in typical Ozark cliffhanger fashion, we basically are in the end game of this show. Something that's been a standout in Ozark from the beginning of the show until the end, in my opinion, is how thematically rich it is. This is one of the most well-written shows of all time, and that's been clear from season to season, but the writing here is just so phenomenal. I just wish that I could sit in the writer's room and see what their ideas are. It just blows my mind when I think of a show of this scale where you've got all these characters intertwining. Like, where do you envision these characters ending? I want to ask the writers, and I feel like I'm hitting the nail on the head when I talk about the performances in Ozark because we all know they're spectacular, but Julia Garner crushes it again. Laura Linney might be the standout in the back half of the season as Wendy. She is like crazy good in this because you really just hate this character at this point. She is full-on Walter White at this point in the show, just a despicable human, and you really buy into her performance. I also have to give credit to Jason Bateman. I mean, the dude directs some of the episodes in this back half, but he's always been consistently great as Marty Byrde, and he's one of my favorite actors working today, not only because of Ozark, because of his comedic chops. I also have to give a ton of credit to Richard Thomas, the actor who plays Wendy's father in the show. He has a lot more of a prominent role in the back half of the season, and he crushes it here. Like, every single supporting actor in the season, I'm telling you guys, does great. The ability of this show to create tension, even with an absence of dialogue, astounds me, because there are multiple moments in this back half of the season where I just felt the tension building and building when there was no score, no really even dialogue happening. That's just how well shot it is and well crafted the show is. There's multiple scenes again where you just know something's probably about to go down. This show masterfully crafts tension, in my opinion, between various characters, and this is one of those shows that's so well written and well established with a reputation of not being afraid to take risks that watching these final episodes, it feels like nobody's safe, and that's something I want in a show where I feel that attached to the characters and the situation. And while these characters are all pretty awful people and you can't really buy into what they're doing, you've become so invested in their lives and seeing how they're going to unfold and just the madness that ensues that you're so locked in. I love when a show can raise the stakes through the roof and make you feel so uncomfortable and on the edge of your seat for the entirety of 7 episodes. And that's exactly what this back half did. Now, admittedly, I kind of wish that they maybe made a full season and, maybe said, hey, we're going to stretch this show to 5 or 6 seasons. But again, all good things must come to an end. Does it feel somewhat rushed at times? You could argue that, but I think that's kind of a parallel to the characters' lives and how everything just feels like it's spiraling after the events of Season 4 Part 1. So it's moving at a breakneck pace, especially near the end, but I feel like that's intentional. There are also pockets of episodes 9, 10, 11, and 12 that are a lot slower paced, but this show's always been known for being a slow burn, so that's not really too much of a critique. Now, I can't talk about the finale just yet. It's still under embargo for a few more days, but I will say this, and I'm very much dancing around spoilers here. I'm really just interested to see the discussion revolving around the final episode. Whether or not the show wraps up in a satisfying way is going to vary from person to person, and I'm very interested to see how everyone perceives it. I know my thoughts on it, and again, I will have that in my spoiler review and discussion with a fellow YouTuber that is coming later on this week, so stay tuned for that. Make sure to subscribe to the notification bell. I really wish that I could tell you guys my exact thoughts, but you just have to wait for that video. I have so much to say in that video. It's going to be almost an hour long. Is this going to be, a Breaking Bad where people adore the ending, or is it going to be more of a divisive ending? I think the show has its fair share of surprises, its fair share of twists and turns. This is nothing new though. If you're a fan of Ozark, which I assume you are for clicking on this video, you already know that it's going to have its fair share of surprises that are going to keep you invested. It's a thematically rich show, whether that's the morality of certain humans, family dynamics, and the role each person plays in the family is heavily touched upon in this season. You've got the religious background and the morality conversation going on, but there's just a lot of standout moments with newer characters. There's a priest character in this season who's one of my favorite personally, who just has a lot of impactful lines, and there's just a lot of moments in the show that I unfortunately can't talk about right now without giving spoilers or giving anything away. These last 7 episodes of Ozark are so well written, and I think that it ties a nice bow on everything. Now, will everyone feel that way? Who who's to say? We shall see when the show gets its full release on April 29th. But these final 7 episodes of Ozark might be the best acted, the best written, and just the most thematically rich with a ton of symbolism in them. I'll let you be the judge of how you feel about the ending. Again, I have my thoughts, that's all I will say. But I think this will be one ending that's talked about for quite some time. Ozark's a show that I started watching in March of 2020. I binged through seasons 1 and 2 in preparation for season 3, and then of course we got season 4, and it's a bittersweet feeling that the show is finally over. I love the journey that the show brought me on, and it was also a source of escapism for me in 2020 when the pandemic really hit its stride. I watched Ozark a ton of the time to get my mind off things. So this show has been there for me for a while, and it's sad to see it go. I mean, all good things come to an end, right? Looking at it as a final product, I think Ozark's a really well done show that's going to be a topic of conversation for quite some time, and Jason Bateman might just be my new favorite person in Hollywood. Love his performance as Marty Byrde. In this final season, I think every single character gets their time to shine, and I personally think the discussions that are going to arise based on the final episodes is something I cannot wait to partake in. So if you're a fan of Ozark, I think you're going to dig these final 7 episodes, and if you haven't seen the show for whatever reason, I think that it's definitely worth starting now that you can binge through it all without having to wait if you prefer the binge model. I also want to apologize because I just feel weird talking about the final 7 episodes of a show without being able to give you any details at all. So if you want to hear my full fleshed out thoughts on every single thing, I will have a spoiler review coming later this week, so make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on that. But I wanted to be extremely timid and extremely dance around revealing any plot details in these final 7 episodes because it's a huge deal. But that's going to do it for my non-spoiler review of Ozark Season 4 Part 2, the final 7 episodes of the show. What do you guys think, or what are your expectations if you have not yet seen it? Make sure to let me know in the comments down below and hit that like button, and make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on any future videos, TV reviews, movie reviews, and all that good stuff, especially my Ozark Season 4 Part 2 spoiler review / breakdown / ending explained video that I do with a fellow YouTuber later this week. Make sure to hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on that. But thank you guys again for watching, and until next time, I'll see you guys later.